Hey, Jeffrey Pepper Rogers back with Guitar Sessions, and here to share John Prine's Souvenirs, one of his great early songs. First came out in 1972 on the Diamonds in the Rough album. So like a lot of John Prine songs, very simple, 3 chords or maybe 4 if you count one with an alternate bass note. So using mostly alternating bass fingerpicking on this song. And like a lot of Prine songs, the guitar part is nothing fancy, but it really sounds like a song. It's distinctive, and a lot of that comes from incorporating the melody of the song into the guitar part. So let's dig into the basics here, and at the end I will do a run through of the whole song. So first thing, I've got my capo at the 5th fret. This is how he originally recorded it. Later in his career, when he made an album called Souvenirs, he lowered the capo down to the 2nd fret, but I'm going to play it in his original key here. So using key of D shapes, capo 5, so this is sounding in the key of G. And on that original recording, there is a second guitar part. Steve Goodman was playing another guitar part with him, capoed at the 7th fret. So playing in G using C shapes, capo 7, which makes a nice match with Prine's capo 5 D shapes. So what I'll do here is based on Prine's part. He played with a thumb pick. I'm going to play with my bare fingers. That's just my preference. So let's just roll through the shapes, and as I said, not many at all. A D, just a regular D shape. And then a G, which mostly is just fretting the 6th string and the 2nd string here at the 3rd fret above the capo. You can add that 1st string on if you want, but for most of the song I'm not even going to be doing that. So I'm not fretting the 5th string either. Prine did tend to use his thumb for fretting on the G and also this next chord that we're going to do, but I don't do that, so I'm going to just play it without thumb fretting. So you can do that as your preference. So we've got this G here, and then he just drops the bass down a half step. So that's a G over F sharp. And so going from that G, keeping everything the same, but just dropping that bass note a half step. And then we've got an A7. Standard A7 shape with the open 3rd string. So that's it for shapes in this song. As I mentioned, I'm going to be using alternating bass picking. And let me just show the bass part of that first. So on the D, going to be going on the bass side with my thumb going between 4 and 3. That's the alternation I'm going to be using. And on the G, going between 6 and 4, talking about strings. That's my alternation on the G. And then on the A, going to alternate between actually 5 and 3, which is a little unusual. Especially because that 3rd string is the 7th of the chord. So that's kind of a cool distinctive feature of this song. So that's how I'm going to play it on the bass side of it with my thumb. But you could make up your own variations, use other versions of this, certainly. On the D, for instance, rather than going 4, 3, 4, 3, you could go 4, 3, 5, 3. That would be another way to do it. Very common to use those 3-string alternating bass patterns like that. And also on the A, as I mentioned, he's going 5, 3. But you could choose to go 5, 4. That'd be a little bit more conventional sound. Or even 5, 4, 6, 4, like 5, 4, 6, 4. So just a couple of other bass note variations you could potentially use. So I start with the thumb. The thumb is really the key to this sound, and it's a good idea to just practice the thumb bass line just by itself before you even add in. Just hold down the chord shapes and play the bass. Just go back and forth with your thumb. John Prine did that when he was learning guitar. He talked about locking himself in a closet or sitting and watching TV, whatever, just practicing the bass back and forth so that it just becomes really automatic, so you don't have to think about it. If your thumb is just going on autopilot, then you can play around with what you add in with your fingers on top. So while I'm keeping that steady alternating bass going, I'm going to be just adding little bits of other treble notes on top, a little bit of the melody of the song, especially on the intro, and what's used later as an interlude in that section of the song. So most of the upper notes that I'm going to be adding in with my fingers fall on the off beats, so they fall between the bass notes, which are on the on beats, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes I'm using pinches, so by pinch I mean when you play a bass note and a treble note at the same time, one with your thumb, one with a finger. But the whole thing is, keep holding down those shapes, keep the bass note going, add in those other notes. So, and we will need to change the shapes just a little bit to incorporate some of the little melodic bits that are in this song, especially on the D. Hammering on to opening up the first string, for instance. That's kind of the main embellishment that we're using. So we need to change the fingering slightly to play the melody. So first thing, let me just run through the intro part, which includes a melody, something like the vocal melody of the song. And he uses nearly the same pattern as from the intro in the verse, just simplified. So with a lot of the melody parts removed. So it's just the bass note keeps going and adding a few other chord tones in with the fingers, but it simplifies it. And that's something that John Prine did in lots of songs. Kind of made an intro out of playing, finger picking the melody, and then kind of laying back and just simplifying the part for underneath the vocals. So here is that intro. First played slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I'm going to do that a little bit faster now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So there is the intro, and as I mentioned before, during the verse, he plays almost the same pattern, but just removes some of these melodic bits like some of those little extra melody things he strips out so it just doesn't distract from the vocals. So in the chorus of the song, Prine would tend to switch into more of a strum, a bass strum sort of a pattern. So that's what I'm going to do here. That's a good kind of simple contrast between the chorus guitar part and the verse guitar part. And it's a good practice to kind of switch back and forth between finger picking and strumming like this. So I'm going to go into, as I said, picking bass note with my thumb, and then just doing a little strum, which I'm just doing by kind of a little brush, a little flick with my fingers, so my nails are kind of doing the strum. So sometimes it's just a one time down, sometimes it's down and up like that. Just kind of like what you would do if you were playing with a flat pick. So here is what that chorus part is like by itself. So we have this little bass line lead into it. So I'll do one measure leading into the chorus. Coming out of the verse, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going back into the intro from there. So when I was playing that, I was kind of on the A, just droning on that 5th string bass there. You could definitely alternate that if you wanted to do 5, 6 or 5, 4. I am alternating the bass on the D. On the G, you could also alternate 6, 4. I was just staying on the 6th string bass. However you want to play that, it's all good. So those are the basic parts of this song. All the tab you can find over on Patreon for everything that I'm doing, so you can get down to it note by note. But let me give the whole song a whirl here. So hope you have fun playing Souvenirs. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. All the snow is turned to water. Christmas days have come and gone. Broken toys and faded colors are all that's left to linger on. I hate graveyards and old pawn shops, for they always bring me tears. I can't forgive the way they robbed me of my childhood souvenirs. Memories, they can't be bought and they can't be won at carnivals for free. It took me years to get those souvenirs, and I don't know how they slipped away from me. broken hearts and dirty windows make life difficult to see. That's why last night and this morning always look the same to me. And I hate reading old love letters, for they always bring me tears. I can't forget the way they robbed me of my sweetheart's souvenirs. Memories, they can't be bought and they can't be won at carnivals for free. Well, it took me years to get those souvenirs, and I don't know how they slipped away from me.